Hello YouTube, today I was going to show you my idea for a random number generator using two 7400 IC chips. First chip you'll need is a 74163 binary counter. And this one. There. While it loads. Synchronous 4-bit counter, I like to use this one, it works for me. Place that somewhere on the schematic. Next one you'll need is a 74154 4-line 6-line multiplexer, demultiplexer, or whatever you want to call it. Later you'll need a few headers, but for now this is good. The first thing you'll want to do is take G4, G3, M1, and M2, different parts and different IDs on the data sheet, put them all together, have a line leading out from it, take the nets, and make sure that it attaches to all 4 pins. Next you want to take these outputs and put them to these inputs over here, like so. So I'll click. That way you're wiring the outputs of the counter to the input of the demultiplexer. The 0 through 15 on the other side is the outputs. Just realized I screwed up somewhere. The C5 pin, I put a wire there, that was a mistake. Instead, you want to take this wire and route it out to about the same place that you had the other wire. Next, you want to take these and route them over here. If you want to have a seed for yours, then go ahead and route them over there. And then you want to route the 5CT equals 0 over here to where you have the other inputs routed. Sorry if you can't see what I just did, but I did 5CT to M1, connected it, there's already net there, so I didn't need to put one there. Next, you want to grab a VDD, and on the top one that's connected to the M1, M2, blah 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 blah, just route those together, all to the power pin. This enables that you can just count and not have any other interference. You see these two inputs down here at the bottom? You want to tie those low. So you want to grab a ground connection. Doesn't matter which supply you get it from. Put it down. And connect the pins to it. If you don't know which pins I'm connecting pins 18 and 19 from stuff in the box with the ampersand on it. If you're planning on making a board with this, you'll want to take VDD and take the VDD off, and then route the ground all the way around here over next to the VDD, and you'll just have to have 2 power pins for it. If you want it to just be in schematic form and hook it up on your own on a breadboard, leave it like this. Next, we'll need to get some headers to route the stuff out on. You can just search header and it will work just fine. Under con-lstb, go to the MAR05-1 or something else related to it. This one's what I prefer. You're going to place it right here or somewhere near it so that you can easily route the wires to it. Rotate it 180 degrees. Place 4 of them. This is kind of a waste, so if you want to use a 6-pin connector instead of a 5, go ahead. If you're making this into a board version, then you just simply connect the outputs here. If you want to do a 7-second display hookup for it, I'll show you to do that in a little bit. So I finished routing all the connections to the output headers. Now for the input headers, or the input header. And if you wanted to use the seed thing, then I suggest you put a resistor between all these and tie them to ground. So I'll do that now. So you see how I've done that. The 4 resistors attached with all those pins going to ground. Meaning that if you don't apply a signal to these, it still goes low. So you don't actually have to put in the seed. Next, you want to do another ground connection. And wire it up to the bottom one. Yes, wire. That way all the resistors are connected to the ground. The values for these can pretty much be anything at least 220 ohms, which is most common. For this, you want to take pin 2, which is right here, or pin 5 on the header. You want to hook it up to a push button. The reason for this is that you hold it down for a different amount of time each time. With the seed, that just makes it start at a number and then count up a random number of times. After it counts up, it goes into here, decodes it, and outputs that on the bus. The reason for this is that when you push down the button, it has bouncing. Bouncing is random-ish. Because it is somewhat random, when it's hooked up to this pin, it's going to, this works off of a low to high signal. So when it bounces, it's going to go low, high, and then stay at high, and then it go low, because of all the bouncing. So randomly, it's going to count up each time it senses one of those. So it's going to count up a random number of time each time. Using the seed is just the number stores count up from. Make sure you have it wired up exactly like this, otherwise this may go high, meaning that terminal count, not fun. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to change these output buses and wire them to an LCD